Anthems of Your Scene Phase is an album that all metalheads and punk rockers alike must hear and buy for today's musical and political climate that is against the mainstream music market. This album is a breath of fresh air for metalheads that are tired of hearing that pop shit on the radio. Metal fans and music news website Sputnik all thought the Anthems of Your Scene Phase album was horrible. Sputnik Music gave the album Anthems of Your Scene Phase 1 star out of 5 stars. One can see why metal fans would consider this album to be horrible. The instrumentals sound muffled and the vocals are too quiet. You can hardly hear the vocals on some of the tracks. That doesn't mean the album is terrible. However, most fans think it's horrible, and I do too, unfortunately. 240 HD is the best track on the album. 240 HD is everything that metal and punk rock should be, not all that punk pop bullshit you hear on the radio. Heavy thrashing percussion, loud distorted screaming voices with the occasional singing of course, killer overdub, and the fast-paced tempo are what make this track so perfect. The singing came with compassion from the soul and heart. The singing came straight and solely from most of 240 HD is filled with soulful singing in certain parts of the song, however, making 240 HD stand out on the album. That's how this song is different from any of the other songs on this album. As stated, 240 HD is the best track on the Anthems of Your Scene Phase album. Tear Down This Wall is an anger and angst-driven ballad. So much anger is focused on those lies from someone who obviously lies to people. We can all see the lies through your eyes. We can see the lies through your eyes. Twinspan wants to tear down the emotional wall that suppresses us all as humans. Twinspan has had enough as Twinspan has so much anger focused on this emotional wall that puts a lot of stress on us. There has to be a different alternative with dealing with such emotional pain instead of yelling, screaming, and violence. So the only way to tear down this fucking wall is to scream about it in song. That's the only way to tear down this emotional wall. The leader of the oppressed people does not want to tear down this wall. Twinspan directs their anger toward the leader and leaders for them spouting such lies to the masses of people. Twinspan won't stop rising up against the leaders and leadership until they get their point across, and when the leadership finally understands the demands from the people for their leadership to stop lying. Twinspan represents the oppressed people who are tired of their leaders in power, or leader not listening to their demands by demanding more civil rights. For years we lived aloof is the verse that describes how the people were oblivious to the lies from their own political leaders and political leadership. Twinspan rises up against the machine in terms of political leadership, hoping that the leadership will understand the demands from the people on the track Tear Down This Wall. Obviously, Twinspan wants to tear down the emotional and political walls that oppresses the people who are citizens who are tired of their leaders in power of leaders, or leader not listening to their demands by demanding more civil rights. My Self-Benevolence showcases such true promise for their metal style when it comes to rock music. My Self-Benevolent is a metalhead's anthem. Take notice of the heavy hardcore metal sound of this anthem here. The instrumentation is truly perfect. Captain Hindsight is a upbeat heavy metal song that is what metal truly represents for metalheads. The song Captain Hindsight is a song that every metalhead out there should listen to. The song Captain Hindsight is hilarious in hindsight.